Namaskara friends, welcome to our channel. In this video, I am starting the concept of electric and magnetic field. ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥನ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಈಗ ಅರ್ಥನ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಪ್ ಟು ಎ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಆರ್ ಅಪ್ ಟು ಎ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ರೀಜನ್ ಸರೌಂಡಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಅರ್ತ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್. ಆ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಸರೌಂಡಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಅರ್ತ್ ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇದೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗ್ರಾವಿಟೇಷನಲ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್. ಈ ಗ್ರಾವಿಟೇಷನಲ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸಲ್ಲ, ಆದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಡೈಲಿ ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಗ್ರಾವಿಟೇಷನಲ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್. ಎನಿ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ವಿತ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಅರ್ತ್ ವಿಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಗ್ರಾವಿಟೇಷನಲ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್. ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು, there is positively charged particle, negatively charged particle, and another one is neutral particle. ಈ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ದು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಝೀರೋ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದು ಯಾವುದೇ ಥರದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ನ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ದೇರ್ ಫೋರ್ ವಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ದಿ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್. ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಗ್ರಾವಿಟೇಷನಲ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್, ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಸರೌಂಡಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್. ಈ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಕೂಡ ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸಲ್ಲ, ಆದರೆ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ದಟ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್. ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಬೈ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್. ದಿಸ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ವಿಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್. These are all the electric field of lines we represent surrounding these charged particles. This positively charged particle will act as a source and this negatively charged particle will act as a sink. The force of attraction or repulsion between the charged particles is given by Coulomb's law, that is F is equals to k q1 q2 by r square, where k is equals to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught and its value is 8.99 into 10 to the power of 9. This epsilon naught ಏನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ it is the ability of distribution of electric field in free space. Next, consider a particle of charge q which is at a distance r to this point p. The electric field at this point p is given by E is equals to kq by r square. Here I have considered the positive unit charge. Next is electric flux. This electric flux is the number of electric field lines of force or quantity or intensity of electric field through some finite space. This E vector is the electric field due to this charge q, and this A vector is the area vector of the surface. The number of electric field of lines passing through this surface will gives the electric flux. This electric flux is the dot product between the electric field vector and the area vector A bar, that is Ea cos theta. This flux is represented by phi, that is E into A, and the intensity of that electric field is given by, in terms of flux, that is flux by area. Next, here I have considered some irregular shape with the area element dA, and the area vector of this small area element is A vector, and the electric field due to this charge is E vector, and the angle between this area vector and E vector is theta. Then the flux due to the small area element of the surface is d phi is equals to E bar dot dA bar, that is EdA cos theta. Then the total flux over this full surface, over this surface, is phi total is equals to integral over the surface EdA cos theta. Before we have seen some plane surfaces, now we will consider some closed surface. Consider a closed surface of cubic box. For this closed surface is kept in an electric field E vector produced by this charge q, which is outside from this closed surface. Therefore, the flux through this closed surface is 0 because the q is the charge is outside this closed surface. Here I have considered the charge which is inside this closed surface will contribute some flux. This total flux through this closed surface due to this charge q is not equal to 0. Here the charge is inside this closed surface. Therefore, the total flux over the closed surface is the closed integral E bar dot ds bar, where this ds is the surface area of that closed surface. Next is charge density. Here there is a uniform charge distribution and non-uniform charge distribution. Here I have considered a wire of length L where the charge are uniformly distributed. The total charge of this wire is Q, and the charge density along the linear or one dimensional is lambda is equals to total charge by length, and the charge density over the surface is the total charge in that surface divided by the area of that surface, and the charge density of some space is the total charge in that space and the volume of that space, and the total charge in one dimensional is lambda into L. In two dimension total charge q is equal to sigma into A, and this total charge in three dimension is rho into V. Similarly, non-uniform charge distribution, here the charges are not uniformly distributed. Here I have considered a small length element dx, and the charges over this small length element is dq. In one dimension, the charge density lambda is equals to dq by dx. In two dimension, the surface charge density sigma is equals to dq by dA, and the charge density over some space or volume rho is equals to dq by dV. Therefore, for non-uniform charge distribution, the total charge is the integral over the total length, that is lambda into dx, and the integral over the total surface and integral over the total volume. Next is Gauss law. This Gauss law is the total electric flux of the electric field over any closed surface is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times the net charge enclosed by the surface. Here the surface is the Gaussian surface. For this charge q, I have considered the three Gaussian surface with the radius r1, r2 and r3. Therefore, according to Gauss law, the total flux is equals to the charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface divided by epsilon naught. We can consider the any Gaussian surface. There is no restriction to this Gaussian surface. Therefore, the total flux only depends on the charge which is enclosed by the Gaussian surface and not on the Gaussian surface divided by the epsilon naught or the times the epsilon naught. Therefore, from electric flux and Gauss law, we can conclude that the closed integral over the closed surface, that is E bar dot ds bar, here the closed surface is the Gaussian surface, is equals to the charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface divided by epsilon naught. Next is magnetic field. Similar to electric field and gravitational field, here I have considered the natural magnet. Similar to, as I explained before, the gravitational field and electric field, there is a field surrounding this magnet, that is magnetic field. This magnetic field can be observed and experienced by bringing another magnet near to it, near to this magnet. Oersted observed that a current carrying wire will contribute or will produces the magnetic field, circular magnetic field surrounding this wire. Or Oersted also observed that if this is the wire which is carrying a current I, that means there is a flow of electric charges in this wire. there is a flow of electric charges in this wire. Therefore, a moving electric charge will contribute the elect will contribute the magnetic field surrounding this wire. Next is Biot-Savart's law. Consider a wire which is having a current I, and if this is the wire which is having current, there is a flow of charged particles in this wire. Consider the displacement of that charged particle in this wire with the small length element as dl, and the magnetic field due to this small length element dl depends on the three factor which is given by Biot-Savart law, and the magnetic field due to the small length element at this point P, which is at a distance of r, which makes an angle theta from this position vector or the distance vector from this point P to this wire, and the wire is theta. This theta is the angle made by the wire and this line and this r vector. Now, according to Biot-Savart's law, it depends on the magnetic field at this point P due to this length element dl depends on three factor, that is dB is directly proportional to current I and the length element, and this dB is directly proportional to sine of the angle theta. Here the theta, the magnetic field is 0 along or on the axis of the wire. On the axis of the wire, the magnetic field is 0. That means the theta angle is 0. For sine 0, this magnetic field will be 0, and this theta, this magnetic field will be maximum for theta is equals to 90 degree. Therefore, we are considering the sine of the angle of this theta. Next factor, it is also taken from the Coulomb's law, that is the magnetic field directly proportional to square directly, the magnetic field is inversely proportional to square of the distance between this length element and this point P. Therefore, from Biot-Savart's law, the magnetic field at this point due to this length element depending on the factors ideal sine theta divided by r square, and this proportionality constant is given by mu naught divided by 4 pi ideal sine theta, where this mu naught is the permeability. Similar to epsilon naught, this mu naught is the ability of distribution of magnetic field in free space. Therefore, total magnetic field over this total length is integral dB, that is equals to mu naught divided by 4 pi integral ideal sine theta by r square. Therefore, magnitude of this total magnetic field at this point P is equals to B is equals to mu naught divided by 4 pi integral ideal sine theta by r square. Next, here I have considered a straight wire which is having a current I, and we have to find the magnetic field at this point P, which is at a distance a from this wire. One end of the wire to this point makes an angle theta 1, and other end of the wire to this point makes an angle theta 2. Here I will consider a small length element dl, which is at a distance of L to this point, and from the point P at a distance of R. We know that from Biot-Savart's law, that is dB is equals to mu naught divided by 4 pi ideal sine theta by r square. To calculate these factors, cot theta is equals to adjacent side divided by opposite side, that is L is equals to a cot theta, dl is equals to minus a cosecant square theta into d theta, and sine theta is equals to adjacent into adjacent side divided by opposite hypotenuse. Therefore, r is equals to a cosecant theta r is equals to a divided by sine theta. 1 by sine theta is cosecant theta. Therefore db is equals to mu naught divided by 4 pi I into dl is minus cosecant square theta divided by r square is a square cosecant square theta. By simplifying, we get db is equals to minus mu naught divided by 4 pi I by a sin theta into d theta. To find the total magnetic field at this point over this length of wire, integrating db is equals to mu naught divided by 4 pi I by a integral over this length. I have considered to express in terms of angles, in terms of theta 1 and theta 2. I have considered the total angle as the interior angle of this angle and the exterior angle of this angle pi minus theta 2 gives the total integral over this length of wire. Therefore theta 1 to pi minus theta 2 integral minus sin theta d theta integration of sin theta is minus cos theta minus into minus plus cos theta over the limit theta 1 and the pi minus theta 2. Therefore b is equals to mu naught divided by 4 pi I by a cos of pi minus theta 2 minus cos of theta 1. This pi minus theta 2 in the second quadrant cos is negative, minus cos theta 2 minus cos theta 1. If I take minus sign common outside, we get cos theta 2 plus cos theta 1. This negative sign represents the direction of this magnetic field at this point is out of this page, that is out. Therefore the magnitude of this magnetic field is mu naught I by 4 pi a into cos theta 2 plus cos theta 1. Similarly, here I have considered some circular wire of current I, circular wire which is having a current I, and the angle between this radial and the wire at this point is 90 degree. From Biot-Savart's law, we know that dB is equals to mu naught ideal sin theta divided by 4 pi r square over the small arc length element. Here theta is 90 degree, therefore sin 90 degree is 1. Therefore mu naught ideal divided by 4 pi r square, where this dl is the length element or the arc length. Arc length is given by radius into the angle made by that arc. Therefore dl is equals to r d phi. R cancels. Therefore dB is equals to mu naught I divided by I d phi divided by 4 pi r. Therefore integral over this total length of the circular wire is integral dB is equals to b is equals to integral mu naught I d phi divided by 4 pi r, where this mu naught I divided by 4 pi r is constant. Therefore integral over this angle d phi. This phi is the total angle made by this circular wire. Here the total angle made by the circular is pi. Similarly, if we consider a circle, the angle made by the circular wire is 2 pi. Therefore, for any circular wire with some which makes angle phi, is the magnitude of the magnetic field is given by b is equals to mu naught I divided by 4 pi r into angle made by that circular wire. Next is Ampere's law. This here I have considered a wire of current I, and this black color is the closed loop, or we can also say this is the Ampere loop, and these are all the magnetic field of lines produced by this current carrying wire. Therefore according to Ampere's law, the total magnetic field due to this current carrying wire is mu naught into I. I is the current through the wire, or this is the current enclosed by the circular loop. This is the circular loop enclosed by the one. These both are the same. Therefore the magnetic field at this circular loop or this closed loop is the total magnetic field divided by total length of this circular loop. This magnetic field will depends on the total length of the closed loop where we are considering. Therefore, as the length increases, the magnetic field will decreases. Therefore, the magnetic field at this loop into total length gives the total magnetic field. Therefore, we can write the magnetic field over this closed loop or the closed length line integral over the closed circular loop, that is integral b bar dot dl bar is equals to mu naught into I, where this I is the current through the circular current through the wire, or this is the current enclosed by the circular loop. This is the KSET 2015 question. The question is, a uniform current I is flowing along the surface of a hollow conducting cylinder of radius A parallel to its axis. The magnetic field inside the cylinder is. These are all the options. They are asking what is the magnetic field inside the cylinder which is carrying a current I on the surface. This is the cylinder of radius A. The current I is on the surface. We know that from Ampere's law, that is total magnetic field is equals to mu naught into I. I is the current through the wire or current enclosed by the loop. If I consider to find the magnetic field at this point inside the cylinder, inside the hollow cylinder, if I consider a circular loop or a ampere loop, there is no any current flowing through this circular loop, or there is no any current enclosed by this circular loop. Therefore, I is 0. Therefore, the magnetic field inside this hollow conducting cylinder is 0. Therefore, for this question, the answer is C option. Next is KSET 2016 question. The question is, for a uniformly charged cylinder with the charge per unit length lambda of diameter 2a and of infinite length, the electric field at a point P at a distance d greater than a from the axis of the cylinder is given by. These are all the options. Here I have considered that cylinder of radius a. We know that the electric field at some point at a distance r is equals to kq by r square, where this q is the charge enclosed by the some surface or the Gaussian surface. We know that the charge from the charge density, the linear charge density or the charge per unit length lambda is equals to charge enclosed over the length, total length. Here the charge density I have considered over the diameter, therefore the diameter is 2a. Diameter is 2a, therefore the total charge over this along this diameter is lambda into 2a. We can't consider the total along the length because the length is infinite length. Therefore, the total charge enclosed by this Gaussian surface, which is at a distance d, d is greater than a. Therefore, we have to consider here somewhere outside here. Therefore, q is equal to lambda into 2a. Therefore, electric field E is equals to k is 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught lambda into 2a. 2 ones are 2 2s are, therefore 1 divided by 2 pi epsilon naught lambda into a by d square. They are asking the electric field for d greater than a. D greater than a means I can consider this length of d on the surface of the cylinder. If I consider the Gaussian surface on the surface of the cylinder, this d will be equals to the radius of the cylinder a. Therefore, d will be equals to a. This t cancels. Therefore, the electric field E is equals to lambda divided by 2 pi epsilon naught into d. Therefore, for this question, the answer is B option. Next is KSET 2017 question. The question is, the electric flux through any closed surface is a measure of Option A, the total charge inside the surface. Option B, the total charge outside the surface. Option C, the total charge at the surface. Option D, the total charge both inside and outside the surface. We know that from the electric flux, the closed surface which is having the charge inside only contribute the electric flux. If the charge is outside the closed surface, won't contribute any flux. Therefore, for this question, the total charge inside the surface will contribute the electric flux. Therefore, for this question, the answer is A option. Next is KSET 2018 question. The question is, the electric field associated with a static charge distribution is given by, they are given the electric field as this, the value of the integral over rho r vector d cube r over a spherical volume of radius r greater than 0 centered around the origin, and rho r vector being the charge density is given by, these are all the options. This, they are asking the value of this integral rho r vector into d cube r. This is the, from the charge density we can observe this is the total charge of this spherical volume. Therefore, we know they are given the electric field E vector as minus q e to the power of minus mu r divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r square into r cap. Therefore, 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught is k, and this r square, q into e to the power of mu into r cap. We know that the electric field is kq by r square into r cap. This q is the total charge. They are asking the total charge. Therefore, by comparing these two equations, q into e power minus mu r is the charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. If I consider the Gaussian surface here, which is at a distance of r, this is the total charge enclosed by this Gaussian surface at this distance r as q e to the power of minus mu r, and the total charge they are asking, this one is the charge, total charge of this spherical volume, that is of spherical volume of radius r. Therefore, q into e power minus mu r is the charge of the spherical volume of radius r. Therefore, for this question, the answer is A option. For this question, the answer is A option. Next is KSET 2018 question. The question is, the electric field created by a charged sphere of radius r having a charge density distribution given by rho is equals to rho naught r is given by, let E less than represents the electric field for r less than r, and E greater represent the electric field for r greater than r. These are all the options. We know that from Gauss law, integral over a closed Gaussian surface or a closed surface, E bar dot ds bar is equals to q enclosed by the Gaussian surface divided by epsilon naught. This is the charged spherical sphere they are given. They are asked, first I am finding for r less than r. Therefore, I will consider the Gaussian surface of radius r which is less than r inside this spherical volume. This is the Gaussian surface. If I consider this as Gaussian surface, we will find the charge enclosed. This is q enclosed is given by, from the charge density integral rho dv. They are given the rho as rho naught into r, integral over the volume over the sphere. I am using the spherical coordinates as r square dr sin theta d theta into d phi, that is r square dr integral sin theta d theta integral d phi. From my video of coordinates, we know that the theta varies from 0 to pi and phi varies from 0 to 2 pi. Therefore, by integrating rho into r to the power of by 4 from 0 to r, and theta varies from 0 to pi and phi varies from 0 to 2 pi, integration of cos sin theta is minus cos theta, integrate substituting the integrating limit 1 into minus of minus 1, therefore this is 2, 2 into 2 pi is 4 pi, rho naught r to the power of 4 by 4, therefore the charge enclosed by this Gaussian surface is q is equals to rho naught r to the power of 4 into pi. Therefore the charge enclosed by this Gaussian surface which is inside this sphere is q is equals to rho naught r to the power of 4 into pi. Therefore from Gauss law, E vector, the integral over this closed surface, here the closed surface or the Gaussian surface, this is the surface area of this Gaussian surface as the closed surface, therefore the surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r square of radius small r, that is rho naught r to the power of 4 into pi divided by epsilon naught. Therefore by simplifying we get the electric field at a point for small r less than capital R is rho naught r square by 4 epsilon naught. Similarly, we can find the electric field for greater than R. Therefore, for this question, the answer is A option. Next is KSET 2018 question. The question is, a loop made of copper wire is bent in this shape as shown in the figure below. The radius of smaller semicircular segment is A and that of larger semicircular segment is B. If a current I flows in the loop, the magnetic field at the center O of semicircular segment is, this is the segment they are given, these are all the options. The loop, the magnetic field at center O of a semicircular segment is, here they are asking the magnetic field due to the semicircular segment. Semicircular segment means the magnetic field due to the circular loop 2 and 4. Therefore, I will show how to find for all the wires by dividing. I will consider the first wire, that is linear wire or a straight wire. We know that from Biot-Savart's law of current carrying wire and for circular wire, this is the magnetic field for the straight wire. If I consider this first wire, theta 1, in the explanation we have considered the point here. If I bring that point here, the angle theta 1 will be 0 and the angle theta 2 will be 180 degree. Therefore cos 0 degree is 1 and cos 180 degree is minus 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Therefore the magnetic field due to this straight wire 1 is 0. Similarly, for this third wire, that is straight wire, here also the point P will be here, therefore theta 1 will be 180 degree and theta 2 will be 0 degree. Therefore the value of this magnetic field due to this wire 3 is 0. And now I will consider the circular wire, that is fourth wire. We know that for circular wire B is equals to mu naught I divided by 4 pi r, and the angle made by this circular wire, the angle made by the circular wire is pi. If the direction of this current is different, this is in clockwise and this is in anti-clockwise, therefore the angle will also positive and negative. For this direction I have considered the angle as positive, and for this direction I have considered the angle as negative. Therefore B is equals to mu naught I into minus pi divided by 4 pi B, and the magnetic field due to the circular wire 2 is B is equals to mu naught I divided by 4 pi A into pi, that is B is equals to mu naught I pi divided by 4 pi A. Therefore the total magnetic field due to this segment is the total magnetic field due to all the wires is mu naught I pi divided by 4 pi a minus mu naught I divided by 4 pi a. Therefore, the total magnetic field is mu naught I divided by 4 into 1 by a minus 1 by b. Therefore, for this question, the answer is B option. In the option, they are given here as 2. Therefore, for this question is the grace question. Those who have attended this question will get the grace marks due to the wrong options. That's it. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button, share and subscribe for more videos. Thank you.